What if the one person who could teach you the most about unconditional love was your own 6-year-old? And what if their lesson came at the exact moment you felt like you failed them the most? Welcome to Enchanted Life Inside. Today we're diving into a powerful story about the profound, sometimes painful lessons we learn when we disappoint the very people who trust us the most.
So let's just start right there and let that question sink in for a second. What if your child was more forgiving than you? It's a tough thought, isn't it? It kind of gets right to the heart of all that parental guilt, those hidden expectations we have, and the really uncomfortable truth about the standards we hold our kids to versus the ones we hold for ourselves.
Because, if we're being honest, this is the quiet truth for a lot of us. We're running on a double standard. We expect perfect emotional control from these tiny humans whose brains are literally still under construction. We want them to handle disappointment without tears, frustration without a single tantrum. And what do they give us in return? In our worst moments, our moments of failure, they often give us something we absolutely haven't earned: pure, unconditional acceptance.
Our story starts in a place that I think every parent recognizes, with that cold, sinking feeling in their stomach. You're stuck in traffic, completely powerless. The clock on the dashboard is just mocking you with every passing red light. And all you can picture is your child, waiting, wondering where you are, wondering if you forgot.
Then the phone buzzes, and that notification, it feels less like helpful information and more like an accusation. You're trapped, just a few blocks away. It's this digital countdown to what feels like a massive parental failure, and with every tick of the clock, that panic just rises in your throat.
Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the father burst through his front door. His heart is pounding, he's a mess, and he's already rehearsing the perfect apology in his head because he is ready for the storm. He's braced for the tears, the anger, the shouts of, "You promised!" He's ready to take on the totally justified disappointment of his son.
But the storm never comes. Instead, he sees his 6-year-old son on the living room floor, just calmly building a Lego spaceship with his grandpa. The boy looks up, and without even a hint of anger, he just states a fact. "Hey, Daddy, you're late." No drama, no resentment, just this simple, profound, and completely unexpected act of grace.
And that is exactly what this is. Grace. This idea of unconditional acceptance that's given to someone who, by all accounts, really doesn't deserve it in that moment. It's a concept that we adults write books about and debate for hours, but it's something that kids seem to just get. They understand it with this intuitive wisdom that can be absolutely breathtaking.
So let's really dig into this, because the answer is pretty uncomfortable. Why does a child's simple act of forgiveness feel like such a shock to our system? Well, it's because in that single moment, they hold up a mirror to our own behavior. And the reflection, it isn't always pretty.
I mean, just look at this contrast. It's what the source of our story calls the grace gap. Think about it. When they make a small, totally normal kid mistake like spilling milk, we often respond with a sharp sigh, with frustration. But when we make an adult mistake, like spilling coffee all over the morning's paperwork, what's their first instinct? They rush to help. They offer empathy, not judgment.
And this brings us to such a crucial point. These little daily frustrations, they aren't a test. Your children are not deliberately trying to push your buttons just to see when you'll snap. They're just being kids. And in our reaction to their messy, clumsy, beautiful imperfection, the true depth, or maybe the shallowness of our own patience is revealed.
And this table really just breaks that imbalance down even more, doesn't it? It feels like we keep this detailed scoreboard of their mistakes, ready to give them the look or a long lecture about responsibility. Meanwhile, they consistently just wipe our slate clean. They forgive our forgotten promises, our short tempers, with a simple, "It's okay," basically tearing up the very same scorecard we so carefully maintain for them.
You know, this gets to the core paradox of so much of modern parenting. We demand a level of emotional maturity and self-control from children that we, as fully grown adults with fully developed brains, often fail to show ourselves. We expect them to manage these huge feelings when the CEO of their brain, the prefrontal cortex, is still years away from being fully online.
The source material argues that with every impatient sigh, with every snap, we are teaching a lesson. It's just maybe not the one we think we're teaching. We're not teaching them to be more careful. We're teaching them that our love is conditional, that it can be taken away if they fail to be perfect. They offer us a masterclass in unconditional love, and in return, we stand over them with a stopwatch, measuring their performance.
And this line it says it all, doesn't it? For a child, our perfection is totally irrelevant. Our timing isn't the point. They are not keeping a tally of our failures. They measure our love not in the minutes we were late, but in the quality of our presence when we finally, truly show up.
So this realization, it's not just about feeling guilty. It's about learning something. What's the real, actionable lesson we can take away from this little boy and his structurally questionable but emotionally perfect Lego spaceship? The source proposes this simple yet incredibly difficult challenge. It's a way to actively try and close that grace gap we've been talking about. The next time your child spills something, forgets something, breaks something, before you react, just pause and ask yourself that one powerful question. Then see if you can find the courage to do what they would do. Hand them a napkin, offer a hug, tell them it's okay. And let's be really clear here. This is not about abandoning rules or discipline. It's about changing the foundation from which we parent. It's about leading not with criticism, but with the exact same empathy and grace that we so readily, and often without even thinking about it, receive from them. It's about remembering that we're all just trying to build our lives out of broken pieces.
And that leaves us with this final thought. We are all building spaceships from broken pieces. In a world full of expectations and mistakes, who in your life is handing you the Legos to rebuild without keeping score? And maybe even more importantly, who are you that person for? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you and help this community grow. And hey, if this resonated with you, please be sure to subscribe to Enchanted Life Inside so you don't miss our next story. I look forward to seeing you again soon, exploring more of these ordinary things that happen every day, but are, well, very much worth thinking about. Oh, and one last thing. Remember to check out our podcast playlist for more deep dives. It's perfect for listening to on your drive, before you sleep, or anytime you just need a voice in the quiet. The link is in the description. Thanks, everyone. See you next time.